Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we've got your lowdown on this week's WWE Smackdown as Jay Uso wrestles with his decision as to who he's going to wrestle with at WrestleMania. The flu is fueling my poetry, Larson.
It's really, you're just not thinking, you're just doing.
Right, we don't think around here. We do. When I do, I'll probably fall out within about 10 minutes. So here's the situation. We've also got some news, unfortunately, on some WWE releases we'll get to in just a moment here. But here's the situation. As anybody who watched the Friendo Club video this morning on the Dave Meltzer stuff, as anybody who watched my very brief intro on Wrestle Juice today, I did a little intro from the couch, and then I threw to some footage from my Wrestling Juice Twitch channel. It's one of those try not to win or look away challenges. Oh, man, a lot of people dropped on their heads. As anybody who watched that stuff knows, Steve has the influenza. That's right. And I'm not doing too great, but I'm going to muster through this because we got some ad reads this week.
We do.
We need to pay them bills. So, in preparation for that, Larson, I've got a couple things going on. Number one, I'm going to be sitting at the microphone button here to mute myself whenever I have a sniffle coming on, so you guys don't have to hear me do that. So if I neglect to do that,
if you click it, remember to click it again and turn it back on.
Exactly. Yes, I will definitely do that. And then the other thing I got going on, I got a couple pieces of tissue paper here in case I need to relieve myself of some material in my sinuses. And for that, for the visual crowd, I've got my cereal gift loaded up here.
Good.
From a couple of years ago.
Good.
So, in this case, I'm doing something that is, a little gnarly off screen. And then I'll come back and you'll know that I'm all cleaned up.
There we go.
So
ready to rock and roll and put on a heck of a show.
Ready to lock and load,
Anyways,
Jack.
Let's talk about this. News broke this evening of some WWE releases. You mentioned that. Cedric Alexander took Twitter to reveal that he had been released by WWE, tweeting, quote, "Being a professional wrestler has been a dream of mine since I could form memories, and I will continue to do so till the good Lord says otherwise." And it's like hashtag CUN90, I think it said. So Fightful Select later confirmed that Cedric had been released, added that Paul Ellering, AOP, and Blair Davenport were released as well, and noted that Sonya Deville's contract would not be renewed when it expires within the next few weeks.
Okay.
So, all bummers. Yeah. Don't like hearing about people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
Getting released. And every one of these instances, it's like a lot of missed opportunities here. Remember,
sure.
Cedric, the Cruiserweight Classic, when you had that great match against Kota Ibushi, and Triple H comes out, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to sign him, and they signed him, and he was great, and had a Cruiserweight title run, I believe, unless that's one of those things that I remember happening. But
one of them dudes from back then didn't, and you and I always forget who didn't. I think he did.
I'm pretty sure Cedric did.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. He was a tag champion, though.
He was a tag champion. That is for sure. That did happen. But yeah, so often, Cedric Alexander, one-time Cruiserweight champion.
Was it Ali that didn't? I thought one of them dudes that was prominent in the Cruiserweight division didn't win it.
Did Buddy ever win it?
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Anyways, Cedric did. And it was weird back when AOP first got called up that they split Paul Ellering from them. And AOP got released then. They brought him back, had him signed to contracts for months before bringing him back with Paul Ellering, with Karrion Kross. It was like, all right, this is a good matchup here. Seemed like they could go places with Final Testament. And yet they couldn't really figure out how to best mesh all the personalities in a way that, like, Cross is great. He and Scarlett are doing great stuff now.
Yeah.
But how to work Ellering and AOP into that seemed like a drop ball. Blair Davenport barely on TV after she got called up from NXT. And, you know, we've been fans of Sonya Deville for a long time.
Yeah.
And again, another situation where they couldn't find the creative, I guess, to really elevate her.
Well, it's for a second, it looked like they were going to start developing trios in the women's division, if you remember.
Yeah, that was like when Pure Fusion Collective first joined forces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, around that time, you know, you had Jade, Bianca, and Naomi rolling together. There was a couple others, I think, that.
Well, I mean, Damage Control was.
Oh, Damage Control, yeah.
It was a faction, and then you had Pure Fusion Collective, and then there was.
You would have like the Party Girls with Lyra for a second, kind of.
Yeah, it seemed like they were doing a trios thing. Yeah.
Yeah, without like actual titles, but they were just rolling as factions with, you know, a tag and a single. It's not abnormal. They do it in the men's stuff all the time. And so it looked like that's sort of how they were packaging things in the women's division. It's sort of gone away at this point. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the case of Sonya is crazy because she's so versatile. We've seen her in the GM role. She excelled at that. She had a really good story that was unfinished with Naomi at a certain point. And she just really developed the pro wrestling stuff really, really well. And she had a pretty large fan base. It's just they haven't done anything with her beyond putting her with Pure Fusion Collective. And then that really hasn't, you know, Zoe's kind of the breakout one there. And they haven't really done anything with Sony specifically. And that's a drag. I think that she's really talented. Authors of Pain is an interesting one because there's a tag division that needs tag wrestlers, and they never really pushed them within the tag division, which was strange to me.
It was strange. Like, I think when they came back, they were in a few matches, and then they would just stand behind Karrion Kross and look mean.
They looked great as a faction, but I also understand it seems like what they have factored in for Kross works more as a singles guy. He's got that kind of, I don't know. I've seen people liken it to what maybe they were going for with Sean O'Hare back in the day. Mm-hmm. He just sort of emerges from the shadows and becomes the devil on the shoulder, which I think it fits him really, really well.
Oh, it really does. Yeah. But that character doesn't necessitate a whole group. You know,
not really.
If anything,
he
comes stumbling down the hallway with 5 people. Doesn't quite have the same effect, you know?
The shit's being knocked over in the background. And he's trying to come out of the shadows. Quiet. Shh, they're having a conversation. I got to show up real quick. Cedric says 8.5 years. And remember, we had this conversation. By the way, I confirm Mustafa Ali was that guy. He did not have the title. Yeah.
There we go.
But he did. But, you know, you mentioned the moment of the Cruiserweight Classic, but his, unfortunately, I could only imagine how frustrating it would be for him to go 8.5 years. And the guy had all the potential in the world. We saw the character stuff when he was with the Hurt Business, so we know that's there. He had the look. He had a great look. His in-ring was spectacular.
Yeah.
This is a situation, you know, it was one of those things where I really like that AEW has sort of cracked Ricochet, but it was clear that was never going to happen in WWE. And part of it, I honestly think was, for whatever reason, he couldn't find a way within what they were giving him to show off any character. And they gave him something really good because he's working with Swerve in AEW. It's like, oh, this is good. Cedric, we saw the character stuff. Why couldn't they have come up with it? It was always the silliest thing. I don't know why they couldn't have come up with anything. I mean, you know, you got to hope that, and I don't know when, you know, I mean, he was released today. Are we assuming that's like a 90-day? Has it been confirmed?
Yeah, exactly. His tweet had the hashtag see you in 90 days or see you
in
90,
it's okay. So. It said that. Okay.
So that would be early May.
I mean, it would be stupid for AEW not to pick him up for a litany of reasons. You know, the guy, I do think that he's probably one of those guys who we haven't even seen close to what he can do because, you know, in WWE, they do kind of dial it back a little bit with the in-ring stuff. And you got the Hurt Syndicate waiting there. And you got to think. And I know right now, like, they're tag team wrestlers, which I still don't understand why they are. But You got to think that maybe Cedric could fit in with the Hurt Syndicate or anywhere else in AEW because of just how great of a wrestler he is.
Yeah,
and
he's fantastic.
He could find the same kind of success that Ricochet has had with that finding a character stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Blair Davenport, I don't know what her future will hold.
Never really given much of an opportunity in WWE.
No, not at all. Even in NXT, she wasn't even featured.
They would just bring her out cold and without much going on, and then they expect a response, and she would get like the quietest responses.
Yeah.
And because she was never built up at all.
Nope. So who knows? Hopefully everybody will land on their feet and move on to better things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a bummer to hear people get released.
That's all you can hope for is, there are a lot of options, as we just saw, I think on Ring of Honor, formerly known as Elias. What is Elijah now? What is it now?
Yeah, I think it is.
Or Ezekiel was in WWE. Elijah.
Yeah, that's Elias's brother.
He's now with Brian. Can you do the thing? How do you do it? He's with the Righteous now. I watched the vignette today.
I got to get, I'll figure out. I'll get a slide and I can play it. So I got
yes, perfect. That would be great. That would be awesome. Just do that for a little while. On the off chance that we make a joke about the Righteous.
Oh, I got to keep it on standby. Remember the spell when we were working at your house when you had the pub table up?
Yeah, it was great.
On the our own kickoff show before we stream, I'd get the guitar.
Yeah, it was awesome. Great. Come
you
on,
always
you know what?
When I played.
There's time. I was never annoyed when you play.
Oh, you were annoyed. You're like, I'll put that thing.
I don't know. The office days were just annoying days in general.
No, this isn't office days. This is when we were working in that room you're sitting in right now.
Oh, even worse. You're in my room. Oh, come on. Get at it. What are you doing? Get at it. We got to get this moving. Do you want to come over and hang out for this review? We got time. Do you want to come over?
No, we're rolling already. I can't stop it.
You sit right here, and I'll just sneeze all over you.
No, I've been through that before, and as I said in the Friendo Club video today, it didn't work out too well for me then. I would be shocked if it worked out any better for me this time.
Hold on, I have to cough and snot, so I'm gonna do the thing here. So you talk. Right, you talk about stuff.
All right, do the thing. I haven't heard anything new or anything else regarding other releases. Hopefully, that's the extent of it from Fightful. Oh my goodness. So yeah, again, hopefully all on to better things. In 90 days.
They can't see me, but you can see me.
I'm trying to talk here. I look at it over here, and you're wiping your face and all sorts. You got me coughing.
Oh no! You can't blame this one on me.
I got this dry throat.
So Richard A has become a member now for 21 months. Richard A sounds like a Severance character. Richard A has a message for Lumen, who says, "Oh man, I love you, Stephen Larson. The real tribal chief has returned. We love you here at Lumen, Richard A." That was a Severance gag. Yeah, Solo came back. We're going to talk about Solo Sikoa and what he's up to. We have another membership here. Jay Smooth became a member for 17 months. Says, hey, friendos, Steve, hope you finish your flu story. Man, I hope so too. The worst thing about a flu is that I just feel I hate being useless. I have such a hard time doing nothing. It's so annoying.
No, the worst part of the flu is when your whole body hurts. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that sucks too. But then it hurts, and then you can't do anything, and that's why you can't do anything.
That's the natural outcome of full body aches. Yeah.
Honestly, as long as I don't have a headache, I'm fine with it. I can deal with the other stuff, but I just hate not being able to do anything.
Yeah, we're doing something now. Do you feel productive now?
No, I feel all right. This is always an escape, whether I'm got a fever or not. Corvinus says, I don't see the point with a super chest. I don't see the point in making women's mid-card titles if you're not going to utilize your stacked women's division. That's a good point. I don't know why I read it like a grumpy old man, but it's a good point.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. Who's the well, Chelsea was on the show.
Yeah.
Lyra was on the show. She was on Raw, wasn't she? I thought I saw her there.
She was in the Rumble.
Oh, she's in the Rumble, yeah. Jonathan Cantres. Well, the super chat says Cedric ain't going to go to AEW after what? Oh, that's a good point.
That's right.
That's a good point. The big swole stuff.
Yeah.
Man. Yeesh. Well, hopefully Tony Khan can, put some big boy pants on and make some apologies and say, hey, you know what? I was out of line back then.
Yep.
Mayday says she qualified for the chamber, so she was there.
That's right.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice. Well done. We had some chamber qualifiers tonight as well on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre, who came back to SmackDown. He was on SmackDown through the transfer window, then went back to Raw, and then
It was
came
all
back
so
to
confusing, man. Gosh darn it.
Now
This
he's
whole
on
video where he had keepers for transfer window draft, and I had Drew as one of my keepers. All the comments were like, he's not on SmackDown. He's on Raw. You idiot.
But he went to SmackDown. That was the thing.
Well, now he is, yeah. So
Now he is.
now, like weeks later, I look brilliant.
Yeah. So, did the so he had a chamber qualifier.
Hey,
against-
first let's take care of our business, and then we can get into SmackDown.
Oh yeah. Time got lost on me there. All right, yeah, we have bills to pay here, so that's the whole reason I'm doing this sick here.
All right.
Sorry. Go ahead, Larson.
All right, I'm waiting. No more snorts?
Well, I don't know. I hope not.
All right.
I'm not going to
all
try to.
All right. Let's take a quick break here. You get a word from our sponsor, DraftKings Pick 6. Super Bowl 59 is nearly here, Steve, which means the NFL season is almost over. But it also means that this is your last chance to play NFL Pick 6 this season. As the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL, DraftKings does fantasy sports like no one else.
That's right, Larson, and it's super easy to get started with Pick 6. All you got to do is select 2 or more players and choose if they'll have more or less of a particular stat, like touchdowns, yardage, sacks, and more. And check this out. DraftKings is now making it even sweeter for first-time players. New Pick 6 customers play $5, get $59 in Pick 6 credits.
So win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app and use code RAW. That's code RAW for new customers to play $5, get $59 in Pick 6 credits only. On DraftKings Pick 6, the crown is yours.
All right, let's go ahead and get some disclosures from Bill Pick 6.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, thank you, Bill Pick 6. We also have another sponsor on today's show, Larson.
We do. And this episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp. You know, Steve, so often we hear about red flags that we should avoid in our relationships, and it's obviously important to be on the lookout for those, whether you're dating, married, building a new friendship, or just working on yourself.
That's right, Larson, but it's also important to appreciate the green flags and the positive relationships in your life. And if you're having trouble identifying them, therapy can help you actively find these green flags in your relationships. And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try.
You know, I've spoken extensively about how therapy helped me when I was dealing with severe anxiety in my mid-20s. That was 20 years ago. And 20 years ago, going to therapy involved getting in a car and driving to the therapist's office. But BetterHelp is completely online, making therapy convenient and affordable. With BetterHelp, you have access to a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties, and you can easily switch therapists at any time for no extra cost.
So discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. All right, man.
All right, let's talk SmackDown. I'm really excited to talk about this Jay Uso business because, oh wow, you know, you're feeling pretty lousy right there.
Yeah.
I feel like Cody Rhodes right now is feeling pretty lousy himself. He's got this paranoia about losing all his friends because of that darn title he has.
Mm-hmm.
The thing he's, tried to get his whole professional career, now driving a wedge between himself and everybody that he cared about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when the Miz presented that to him, Miz learned a thing or two here from Karrion Kross.
Yeah, he's going to become like SmackDown's Karrion Kross, isn't he?
Seemingly. Presenting that or putting that in Cody's head, and it was like Cody's like, Jay, no way, don't face me. That's like that seems to be his vibes now.
Yeah.
Or the last thing he wants to do is face Jay at WrestleMania, not. It's less, I think, for him in his mind. He's a champion. He's confident. He's not worried about losing the title. He's worried about losing his buddy.
Yeah, he's learning.
And I don't know if his heart could take another heartbreak like that.
A lot of sacrifice.
Which is why I want to see Cody versus Jay now.
Yeah, me too. Is there any chance we're going to get that?
Nah, probably not.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You're probably right. It's probably going to be Cody Cena. But
you get one chance to do Cody Cena at WrestleMania just now. It's now or never. You got to do it now.
I know. But, there is Gunther there with that mid-card world title. That would still count towards the record.
Absolutely.
If they wanted to do that. He could have his path derailed again at Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul will probably beat Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who all we got in the chamber, man? We got
so
Drew.
Far we got Drew. We got Punk.
It's gonna be Seth.
Cena. It'll probably be Logan Paul. It'll probably be Seth. It'll be interesting that they have like a last chance type match for both the men and women. So Io can get the women's match, maybe LA Knight or Sammy can get in the men's one.
I mean, even if Cena, boy, I don't know. I would love them to throw us Cody versus Jay simply because we all know that Cody in the Undisputed title is going to main event. We know that. Jay literally is the most popular guy in the company, up there with CM Punk. And he has a shirt that says WrestleMania main event. Mm-hmm. And I know it's
They're
whatever.
Very liberal with their definition of WrestleMania main event. Yeah,
I know. But it's like then you got Cody and you got Jay on the night 2. You take care of that. You can do Charlotte and Rhea main event night 1 if they do that. And everybody's kind of happy at that point, unless they really want Seth Punk Roman to main event night 1, which I guess they could do that as well because there's a lot of star power there. It's funny though because I think about what you said last time about how like it's weird if it was a 1-on-1. I feel like that would main event, but with a triple threat, it's like whatever. Put it in the mid.
This feels more slapped together as a triple threat. I know
it's not even happening yet. Like we haven't even.
Yeah,
seen
I know, but it's the idea of it's like well, obviously they just want. One of those people in that match to not be kind of on the outside looking in at a high-profile WrestleMania match. So let's put them all in one match.
Jay versus Cody is so much fun. Like the stories there are so good, and this
is the most interesting story possible.
Yeah. Who wins that match though?
Gosh.
On night 2, they're gonna have Jay Uso lose. Boy.
No, that's such a gut punch to the fan base if they do that.
Oh yeah, major.
All the high-profile matches he has lost, to have him win the Rumble and then lose to Cody. Oh gosh.
I mean, he has to for him to beat the guy that beat Roman. I mean, come on, that's amazing. That's outstanding. Mm-hmm. Cody's like, I need to go to WrestleMania and win. No, you don't. You did last year. You
walk in and lose that title, bro.
Yeah, you've held it for a long time. You fought many qualified competitors.
And also Logan Paul.
So, I don't know where that leaves us. And I'll be honest with you, the math that we're talking about right now is really clouding my mind. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do think that the bottom line is Jay versus Cody, most interesting story. We're probably not going to get that. It might be the thing where he goes to Raw and he's thinking about taking on Cody and Gunther unleashes violence on him. And then he decides to take on Gunther and then the crowd pops big because they're there in attendance when it happens.
Yeah, that could be. It'd be a bit of a bummer if he didn't face Cody. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
the story is more intriguing, but anyways.
And dude, honestly, our main hot take thing, the thumbnail for our hot take was it should be Jay versus Cody. That was a sentiment that we've seen a lot, not just in our audience, but on social media. Yeah. People want Jay versus Cody. Because we just got Jay versus Gunther. It's like a million times. And honestly, like if you beat Cody, it's like, well, you can show Gunther, hey, you know what? And on top of that adds like a little bit of parody there where it's like, oh, Gunther beat Cody. Well, he also beat Jay. It would make Gunther the top champion.
Gunther didn't beat Cody though.
No, sorry. Cody beat Gunther, but Gunther's beat Jay.
And so then Jay beats Cody. Yeah.
So he beat the guy that beat Cody.
Yeah.
Several times.
You were talking about chamber qualifiers earlier. We could touch on that real quick. Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match, really good match. against Jimmy in LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
He advances. I was kind of wondering because he comes out before the match and drops a promo saying, "Hey, I'm on SmackDown now. Fresh start. I was working in a toxic environment in Raw, hence why all this bad stuff's happening to me. Now I'm buddies with all this. I can come to SmackDown and be me."
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man, it'd be great if he didn't win this first match because then
He'd be broken. Yeah.
he'd just be devastated.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. He won 2-for-1 special on the Claymore. He gets the pin on LA Knight.
Yeah.
And then Alexa Bliss defeated Candice LeRae, and then Bianca Belair defeated Piper.
Boy, that was a match. That was a good one.
So they are advancing to the women's chamber match. Yeah, both of those matches are going to have star-studded lineups.
Absolutely. So you got Bianca, you got Bianca, Alexa,
Liv,
and then Chelsea's probably going to get in. She's got a qualifier next week.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say who the qualifier was? Oh, it was against BFAB, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think. So yeah, who comes out of that chamber?
I was convinced Io was going to come out of it, but she's not even going to be in it. Apparently, someone mentioned here in chat that there's no last chance qualifier. Like they announced all the qualifying matches. So,
Yeah.
So Io's not going to be in it. So maybe Bianca wins.
Oh, that could be. I'm trying to remember what happened with the Charlotte stuff today. She called Tiffany like a kid.
Yeah, Tiffany comes out, and Tiffany was like,
it was Nia. That's right.
And then Charlotte told her, you got to get down on your hands and knees and beg for me to pick you.
Oh, so that's right. Okay, so Nia and Tiffany are doing next week, that rematch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, Nia should win that. And then
you just want to see on the grandest stage of them all,
Night 2 main event.
Nia and Charlotte,
Yeah.
things get chippy and they start
big
throwing
time.
hands. That's what you want to see.
At WrestleMania, that's what I
At
want to see.
WrestleMania, where the whole match just falls apart, them throwing hands.
Immediately. Yeah. They're just throwing hands. It's ugly fighting, too. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love it. Love it. Oh, man. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it.
Let's
so it
dive
opened
into
up.
it. Yeah.
Dude, so, hey, a couple of things real quick. So, you know how I was bitching, because I like to do that, about the Canadian Smackdown? Because I got rid of cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got a VPN, and I do it through Canada. And so I get Smackdown on Netflix. Saves me $140 on my cable bill.
Deals.
I don't need that cable anymore. Although I guess I can get like an illegal stream for the Sacramento Kings games. Shh, don't tell anybody. But the thing that I hated about those Smackdowns on Netflix is that it's just too much.
You had to watch the whole show.
Right. However, and I didn't notice this last week, and maybe again, this is me not paying attention, but this week they have a little tiny bug in the corner whenever you're watching ads. And so it says, we'll be back in 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
So you just skip ahead?
Well, there's no skipping because I can't skip.
Oh,
It's
you're watching it live. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right. And so, but no, I can leave, and I know that I've got 3 minutes.
Because otherwise you wouldn't know when the commercial break was happening, would you?
Right. Yeah, I would have no idea. It's so awkward, but like the first time.
Could you do this? Could you start, rather than starting at 5, could you start at like 5:40? Start from the beginning, and then when that little thing pops up, then skip through that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really fun so like I'll come back like right before it goes back on, and sometimes I was just sitting on my couch being sick, so like some of it I was just watching. The Bianca Piper match I watched all the way through, and it was really fun to watch Bianca be told by the ref, because you can tell when the ref says you got 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because Bianca kind of turns on and she like starts hyping up the crowd for them to get up. And that's when it came back to it, she was launching herself off the corner.
Yeah.
And you see the setup for that. Yeah. And she waits there and you see the little countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then she launches herself up.
That's interesting.
Maybe there's like a red light that goes on or something like that. So she knows to do it while it comes back from commercial.
By the hard cam, I know they have like a clock and some other stuff there. So maybe there is some sort of indicator. But the rest got earpieces that communicate with bags.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so she probably said, hey, we're going in 10 or 5 or whatever. And then she knew to do it. But it was just, it's a kind of interesting little bit of business, to watch Bianca, who's amazing already, really work the crowd up during the commercial break so they're a little bit hot coming out of the commercial. It's cool.
Did you hear all the chatter between the participants in the men's triple threat qualifier match?
No, not really.
They were talking all over the place. You could hear them call spots left and right.
That's great. Did you see how I don't like you propose that maybe it was intentionally sloppy, that little bit with Drew and LA
I didn't even
Knight?
watch it because I stepped out for a moment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was one bit where because LA Knight made a reference to the dirt sheets thing about him getting his own shit in.
Funny.
That was pretty funny. But there was one moment during the match when Drew slapped LA Knight on the I know somebody's got the video on social. He slaps LA Knight like sort of paintbrushes him on the back of the head. Sorry, I'm about to cough. LA Knight turns around and they just fall to the floor wrestling in what I want to see from Charlotte and Nia in WrestleMania.
All right.
Just the most awkward, what looked kind of like shoot wrestling. And then Jimmy the grown-up had to come over and start chopping them both. It was pretty funny.
They know how to make a fake fighting look real.
And but they were also, but then, they go back to Fantasyland selling and shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You'll have to take a look at it and you decide, but it was pretty funny.
That sounds pretty funny. Anyways, the show opened up with Jay Uso doing his entrance from the concourse, comes the ring.
10 solid minutes before they got to his promo.
He had to do an encore of the Yeet. They put his music back.
Let me ask you something. The crowd was dead for the main. Do you think that they got so exhausted from his friggin' entrances because
Yeah, because the crowd was quiet for much of the show.
Yeah, it was. Because they yeeted for 10 minutes straight at the beginning. And they were into that.
Yeah.
They were super into that.
Imagine you going to a show with the flu and doing that for 10 minutes. I'd have to pick you up off the floor.
You would. I'd fall out.
So anyways, Jay comes to the ring and mentions talking to, I'll try to get through this quickly. I know you don't feel well.
Yeet.
Gunther, talking to Gunther on Monday, says, I'm here to talk to Cody. So Cody, come on down. Cody makes his entrance, says, so I think I know what you want to talk about. And he says, Jay says, I got two choices. I could stand across from you at WrestleMania, and that would mean a lot, or I could stand next to you with you as WWE champion, me as World Heavyweight champion. And then Cody gives us a medical update, says, I got all these issues, fluid on the elbow, hip out alignment, lower back issues. He says, my doctor's a nice guy, but he's not the champ. He says, I left out how full my heart is, and I'm proud of you for winning the Rumble. I know it's your choice, but that sign, having fought for it, that's your sign. This is your WrestleMania. We had some good moments in this ring. One tag gold, had a libation or two. This here arena is right on Beale Street. We could do that all over again, but Jay, as much as you have this choice, I have to go to WrestleMania and I have to win. If you choose me, let's make a memory tonight because it's going to be the last time. So that's when Jacob fought too. Tama Tonga makes their entrance. Tama Tonga quiets the crowd, does the yeah. And then Jacob says, first off, Cody Rhodes, last year you took that title from my family, but as of now, my family needs that title back, which takes me to you, Jay, Mr. Yeet Man. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. If anybody's gonna bring the title back to the family, it sure as hell won't be you. So then Jay super kicks Tama. Jacob takes out Cody. It leads to Jay and Cody clearing the ring of Bad Bloodline. Of course, tag match main event is announced shortly thereafter. Before that match, though, we have The Miz talking backstage to Andrade. He's trying to convince them to team up. Mm-hmm. And Miz is like, hey, you could really learn from me. And Andrade says, yeah, I can. I learned how to beat you. And so he leaves.
Yeah.
Cody walks up.
Yeah.
And Miz says, oh, this young talent, they don't have respect for us old-timers. We're old school. I'll always have your back. And Cody says, I get it. Oh, sorry, Miz says, I get it. The road to WrestleMania is unpredictable. I get you want to be a good guy with Jay, but look what that title does to friendships. What if Jay chooses you? Are you still going to be his friend? Mm-hmm. He mentions Kevin Owens. Says Jay Uso versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Hell of a story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Cody's just left there. Cody is like majorly overacting here.
Yeah, it's sort of his thing, Hams it up. He was taking some cues from Cena, maybe. you know, at the Rumble. He was like, "Hey, John, can you give me some good acting lessons?" And he was like, "Okay, what you want to do is make sure that your facial expressions can be seen
From
by
outer
anybody
space.
looking at you from 100 yards away."
Yeah.
It's like, that sounds more like a theater thing, John. No. That's what we're doing. Theater.
It's acting.
It's acting. So after we had a little bit more with Jay, after his loss to Carmelo Hayes later on, Tozawa is helped backstage by R-Truth. And Truth drops him as he sees Jay. They dap up. Truth says, "I always saw you as a king. Now you're a king of the ring." Jay says, "No, Royal Rumble winner." Truth says, "That too?" So Jay tells him to check on Tozawa. And then Cody comes up and says, "What do you think about WrestleMania?" He says, "I want to face you, but I got beef with Gunther. I'm undecided, oos." And Cody does some more overacting. Oof.
Tag match main event. Jay and Cody teaming up against Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga. Fun match. Naturally, Cody's in the ring. He gets the win. Hits Crossroads on Tama Tonga. And then after the match, Solo Sikoa. Whoop-ha. Gosh, don't. I'm trying to carry the show while you're clearing out your mucus, and you're here purposely trying to distract me.
I don't know, man. It's just, it's how it happens.
It doesn't have to happen that way. You're choosing it to happen that way. So anyway, Solo hits him with the spike.
Yeah.
Stands over Cody. So I guess Solo's got his confidence back, I would guess.
I guess so. I was kind of surprised to see him just outright attack Cody Rhodes. Is this going to be Cody's match at the Chamber?
He's already beat Solo at least once, if not twice, for that title.
Right? Is his attack on Cody going to... Well, let me ask you this. Is it kind of a misdirection? Is the attack on Cody going to kick off a feud between the other guy who already said he wanted to bring that title back to the family, Jacob Fatu, saying, what, you walk out, look like a punk, not CM Punk, a punk, and then you just come right back in right after my match to try to, not my fault Tama Tonga ate the pin. That's what he's here for. So I don't know, maybe.
Well, since Tonga Loa is not here, yes, now Tama Tonga's
right. Once Tonga Loa comes back, that might change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the point of it.
That could be.
Because he's already lost a lot.
Yeah, having Cody defend the title against Solo at Elimination Chamber doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no.
So we'll find out, I'm sure, next week. So Charlotte, again, she's got a choice to make as well, whether to take on Tiffany or Rhea Ripley. So she comes to the ring. She talks about going on Raw. Well, she talks about, she says, "Hi, Memphis. What's it going to be tonight? You going to love me? You going to hate me? When you boo me, I hear money." And she talks about how everybody in wrestling is obsessed with her. She says, "I was gone 14 months. So she says, "Do you think I was going to be gone 14 months and not win the Rumble to make history?" And the Rumble with 29 unserious women. Ouch.
Yeah.
So there's no way I was going over that top rope. I want to be inspired, so I went to Raw and NXT. So now I'm here to see Tiffany. So Tiffany's music hits. She comes to the ring. She stands right in front of Charlotte and raises the belt to the hard cam. She says, "First of all, I want to congratulate you. Welcome back. I thought WWE could have survived without you. Then you got hurt, and everyone cared for like a day."
Yeah.
Came around. Ticket sales were up. Buildings were selling out. WWE, say it, Steve. What's Triple H like to say?
WWE's on fire.
There you go. And she says, "Who's on top? Me." And then Charlotte says, "Did you say something?" She says, "You speak when I say you can speak. If you think there's not other women claiming to be on top, you need to get in line." And Tiffany says, "I've been in line since my debut. I've always been compared to you. Pick me because at my first WrestleMania, I'll beat you, and I won't be the next Charlotte. I'll be the only Tiffany." And Charlotte says, "When I was in the ring with Rhea, I saw a kid. With you, I see a child begging me to make her a star. I'll tell you what, you want me to choose you? Get on your hands and knees and beg."
Yeesh,
Nia's
that's
music
rough.
hits.
Yeah.
That is rough. So Nia makes her entrance, and she announces that she has a rematch or a match against Tiffany next week on SmackDown for the women's title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Charlotte's like, "That's interesting. I think I'm going to stick around next week and see what happens."
So there we go. She can't wait too long, though, because once that chamber match is up, doesn't it just become like a first come, first serve type situation?
I would guess so, yeah.
You would think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be. Yeah. Let's see here. More Elimination Chamber qualifiers. So yeah, let me ask you this. Let's stop here for a moment and ask the question, did any of this move you one way or another in terms of two things? Number one, if Charlotte takes on Tiffany, who wins that match?
Definitely.
Number two, you think so?
Yeah.
Charlotte comes in and do the job.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, probably not. Charlotte wins, and then Tiffany has to win it back down the line. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I do not know. I have no idea.
Whereas I feel like Rhea has to be Charlotte. Or should, because Rhea's like probably the most popular performer in the women's division. Probably top 5 most popular overall.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rhea's got to win that because she's like, like established and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany, they're trying to get her there.
Maybe
but I feel like her character could learn a lot. Yeah, I feel like her character could grow a lot from a loss. That's too much if you already just go to WrestleMania and beat Charlotte. Like, what do you do from there?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, yes, more chamber qualifying matches. First one of the night, Piper versus Bianca. Fun bout. Bianca gets the win with the KOD. Second match, triple threat, as mentioned, Drew, LA Knight, him, Jim Uso. The promo battle between the three of them might have been just as entertaining, if not more so, than the match. And the match was really good.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Especially Jimmy. Jimmy is cracking me up for some reason. So Drew comes out.
Dude, somebody recently said in our hot takes, and I don't even know if it's a hot take. I mean, it's just, a solid opinion, said Jimmy's a better promo, Jimmy's a better in-ring than Jay. Seeing his match with Carmelo, but then Jay had a killer match with Gunther. If you have a capable wrestler, you put him in there with the Gunther or Carmelo, they're gonna come out of that with a really, really good match.
I'll say this: I think Jimmy is probably more confident promo than Jay, but I think Jay is more relatable.
He is, because he's not as good.
Exactly. Like Jimmy's very polished.
Jay sometimes comes off like, and maybe he does. He might have a stutter. Like, I noticed that in his promo on Raw, and I noticed sometimes he gets like a little, what looks like a facial tick, and I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe maybe it's all in character, I don't know, but my God, it makes him so like you said, relatable. It really does, So I don't know, it makes you love the guy,
and Jimmy
to see somebody so vulnerable out there.
Yeah, Jimmy does the funny stuff.
Jimmy's great. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's wildly
entertaining. So polished.
He is. He's really polished. Yeah. So Drew comes out first, says, I'm on Smackdown now, explain why Raw is a toxic environment. I can come here, be myself. But I'm really here for Cody, and more specifically, a WWE Championship. So Jimmy comes out and says, is it me? It's not just me every week, though. You come out here, live in the past. You sound like an ex-girlfriend. You complain. They stole something. Homie, you lost. You're out here acting like you don't have to earn your spot. You got to get through me and LA Knight. I'm here to earn mine. And Drew says, I'd be angry a couple weeks ago, but I'm cool now, Jimmy.
It made me think that Jimmy didn't know that was coming, because Jimmy's reaction seemed so genuine, and Drew had that little smile on his face.
He did. Yeah, Drew was smirking throughout this entire thing. So he says, 20 years, I still can't tell you apart. You and him are similar, just as talented. Maybe you'd be where he is if you had just said yeet first. And Jimmy says, let me remind you. I think Jim did say yeet first, didn't he?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Maybe.
I thought he was one that brought yeet into the bloodline.
That could be.
So anyways, Jimmy says, let me remind you who's standing in front of you. This is Big Jim. If I want to say yeet, I can say yeet. If I want to say
no yeet.
Crowd says no yeet. Says, I got to punch my ticket, cash my chips in. Jay clocked his. What about yours? There you go. Bear Winning says it was Jimmy and Sammy who said it first.
That's funny.
If you want to go to WrestleMania, you got to make it through me, then the chamber. I'm right here, not living the past. I'm right here. Now I got to kick your ass, Jimmy Uso. I'm going to WrestleMania 2. This brings out LA Knight.
Yeah.
Says, Jimmy, I got no love for you. You're the reason I become champion, but I won't complain. I'll make it good. If I can. I want to be somebody who affects good change to this world. I mean, he says this in the camera.
He gets closer to the camera. He gets right into it. He says, I mean this from my heart. This goes out to all the men and boys out there. If something hits you hard in here and you got to cry, let it out. And doing so doesn't make you less of a man. And I know there's a story behind that, But it was such a lovely thing to hear, just randomly in the middle of a promo. And then he goes back to being cheesy LA Knight. He says, "With that said, there's a line when it becomes too much. 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and Drew McIntyre crying like a damn baby. Every week, all you do is cry. I think I heard somebody over here call you a Drew McIntyre." And he got that chant later on in the match. Drew McIntyre, McIntyre. He says, "What we can talk about right now is a chamber in WrestleMania and me giving you something to cry about. Oh, wait, I forgot to get my stuff in. LA Knight, yeah." And Drew laughed at
from Drew. So that's why I feel like with that kind of clumsy fight bit, that was all. They're capitalizing on the.
You got to look at that. You got to look at that. You could absolutely be right, but it was really ugly. It was really messy.
I imagine they both showed up the building today. They probably hashed it out.
You know, not everybody is a friend, Larson. Sometimes they hate each other backstage.
They have to be friends. I'm saying they're trying to be professional.
No, man.
They
talk real heat.
They hash it out.
Real heat backstage.
Anyways, 2-for-1 special. Claymore. Drew gets the win.
The back of the head.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
That's the worst, man. The back of that was like a base hit.
Right as LA Knight's hitting a BFT on Jimmy. Really fun match. Go check it out. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed that one. Pace was great. Action great. Creative stuff. Really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Then Damian Priest is backstage with Byron after Drew's match. And Priest says he's having a great day. Drew's in the chamber, and now I get to go there and take his ass out. So LeBron steps in and says, "I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you're putting the carriage in front of the horses. You got to qualify, and well, you got 2 of the baddest next week. It's Braun and Jacob Fatu and Priest." It's going to be really... Well, I shouldn't say that. It's be kind of a bummer when Damian Priest is the one who qualifies and not Jacob Fatu, though. Because Braun and Jacob are going to take each other out, and Priest is going to advance.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, part of my thing was the chamber kind of feels like, besides Punk and Cena, Punk and Seth have a thing, so they're in together. Cena's going to win, right?
Yeah.
The other 2 guys, what is it? It's left as LA Knight and Logan Paul.
No, LA lost today, so LA Knight.
Oh, sorry. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, and then the winner of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that the people going into the chamber just have, like, I don't know, Logan, Drew, and
all kind of paired off.
Priest. Yeah.
But there's 6 competitors, so if Cena advances, then there's going to be an odd man out.
Priest and Drew will have a story.
They'll pair off. Seth and Punk will pair off.
I mean, the thing about Jacob is that if what we're saying is right, that's kind of a big if. Solo's going to do one of 2 things. Either going to fight Cody or he'll have a Jacob thing.
And the other thing is, if Jacob Fatu is in the chamber, he has to take a pin because he's not winning it.
You got to be eliminated if you're going to be in the chamber if you're not going to win it.
And he's not eating any pins. So.
Maggie says they need to figure out Priest. I hate that it's even in contention. He shouldn't beat Braun and Jacob. He should definitely beat Braun on a one-on-one thing. He has suffered so much. He is just a guy without no angle.
I know.
There's no hook to him.
He's one of the few characters that would be who I feel like he doesn't know who his character is.
You're right. You're 1,000% right.
He doesn't know who he is.
He did in Judgment Day.
He absolutely did. 1,000% did. But
it didn't carry over.
It didn't. And I wonder, I may be thinking it's more important to his journey than it is. I felt like when he and Rhea had those chances to work off each other in their bits, it helped because at least they have really good natural chemistry.
Dude, they never should have split Judgment Day.
Nope.
They should have split like maybe some people off of Judgment Day.
Yes, Finn and maybe Dom. Yeah, and JD. Yeah.
They should never have split Judgment Day. Yeah. They should have kept him going as a faction.
So anyways, Priest says, "I'm awake." We both walked out of Mania as champs, and Jacob will one day too, but I'm going to win and face the current champion. And Braun says, "You are in the ring with normal men next week. You're in the ring with an animal and a monster."
Priest did have later on, he had a little video package where he was drinking some alcohol, I guess.
Oh, there's a whole package about the match next week. It was him and Braun and Jacob Fatu.
Oh, did they talk as well?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another qualifier here.
Yeah.
Candice LeRae versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss's first singles match since early to January of 2023.
Yeah, they said it's
My
2 years.
goodness gracious. This is a long match, too. They gave this a lot of time. Every match now is longer for me because it's like 3 minutes of commercials. So every
Well,
match
also, they
is
got to
like-
fill all this extra time on SmackDown. They got a whole extra hour to fill.
They got a whole extra hour there, exactly. But this is a cool match. You put her in there with Candice LeRae, you're going to get a good match.
Yep.
And Alexa, she's so much fun anyways. She ends up getting a win with Sister Abigail's because she got pissed off that Candice started playing with her doll. And so during the match, they had a couple of little blam, blam, not the ones that happened on Raw, but some like little Wyatt 6 type glitches that happened during the match. It's funny because they were 4-3. They weren't 16-9. And I wonder, like, did they just forget to do like a longer aspect ratio?
Well, no, because like the VHS tape thing is supposed to be 4-3.
Yeah, I know, but don't you like expand it over the entire thing? If the idea is they're taking over, don't you just like change the aspect ratio?
No, that's not consistent.
Well, if you plug in like a VCR player, like a 16:9 monitor, you'll get a 16:9 image. It'll just stretch it. That's how inputs work.
Yeah, probably.
When I plug my 16:9 laptop into that little tiny TV over there,
Yeah.
it squishes it down.
Yeah.
Just conforms.
I'll tell you, man. Anyways, Byron's backstage.
I don't
with
know why.
Chelsea.
I don't know why I extend these things out. I'm sick as a dog, and I'm like acting.
Yeah, you gotta get these tangents. I'm trying to get
No,
through this.
I want to get this solid 2 hours while I'm sick, man.
Oh,
Hold
for
on a
heaven's
second.
sake.
Let me see where I'm at right now, Larson.
Oh yeah,
Let's
take
see.
your temperature. Do
Yeah.
a temperature check. What was it earlier? 102.
Oh my God, 94.7. I got hypothermia.
Wow, you're going the opposite direction.
Going the wrong way, brother.
Wow.
Said I took some ibuprofen earlier.
Wow, that stuff really worked.
Right? What the heck?
You need to untake some of it because your temperature's low.
I'm shooting down in the ground.
Like, yeah. So, anyways, Byron's backstage with Chelsea and Piper, and Chelsea says, "First, I'll beat Naomi, then beat all those nasty girls in the chamber. Then me and my Secret Service, my motorcade, are gonna sail off into the sunset as double champ." So BFAB and me and Yim walk in. BFAB says, "Speak in the chamber. You eliminated me at the Rumble. That's just not in the back of my mind, just at the forefront." Yim says, "You might make it to the chamber, but might not be champion. We all know the inevitable." So Zelina walks up. She wants a shot as well. Piper says, "What's going on here? How many people hate you?" Chelsea.
Yeah.
And that's when we have the video package for Braun and Priest and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Y'all be ready for this punishment because anarchy has arrived. Because archery has arrived. He needs to go back to being the archer of infamy.
No, he's got to be party vampire, man.
Bro, it was cool. What about combine the two of them? He loves archery and
Hot tubs.
oh man.
Sure. That was working.
I've had several infections from those hot tubs. But every time they bring me back.
Like, well, do you take care of it like you're supposed to, Priest? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I turn it on. You gotta chlorinate that water, brother. What about the filter?
What's a filter? I have no filter when I talk. I'm the archer of infamy.
I have no filter. Yeah. This bit was pretty great. So Kevin Owens has a Matt Chat question from his car. It's preceded by a recap of him hitting Sammy with the package pile driver on Raw. And so he's sitting in his car shooting this on his phone. He says, "We've been through a lot, but I don't think we went through anything like Saturday. You see these scars? He's got like stitches, bruises all over his face. It's the trauma that you can't see, but I feel the pain I've been in all week." Talked about his ribs, I think. "It may never go away completely. I have to live with that. But it's all your fault because, Sammy, you stood there and watched while Cody tried to end my career, or worse, end my, And he's like on the verge of tears this whole time.
Yeah.
He says, "You stood there and did nothing. I see you coming out in the Rumble and rushing to the aid of Roman Reigns, but for me, you did nothing. You're a horrible friend, a disgusting human being, and I'll never forgive you, ever. And I'm going to make you pay. You're going to pay." So the commentary says that Sammy's out indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens re-signed with WWE as well.
Yeah, new 5-year deal.
New 5-year deal. So that's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm
Another
sure getting
win,
paid
'cause
handsomely.
WWE's on fire. I always think about the one comment I get. Steve, you're right. You're doing that joke too much. It's always that one comment. I got like a million. You get like a million. We get a million comments. Man, you guys are great. You're hilarious. One guy says I'm running a joke into the ground. Sticks with me.
Is this individual new to the channel?
You must be new, sir, because we run every joke into the ground.
Every single one.
Every
How many years have you been
one
saying,
of
John?
John.
You know?
That's like 2018
I know.
to this day. We have a whole YouTube friendo named John in Alistair voice.
Yep. So. All right, tag title, picture, tag division. Yeah, I'll get to this.
Hey,
quick.
no, you know what? That Street Profit shit was awesome.
That was good.
That was rad. And you know what? DIY had a good promo. It's just the Motor City Machine Guns are like, you know, boring city.
Oh, their themes, apart from the raise your fist bit, the actual riff.
Brace your fish.
It's really good.
Brace your fish.
So DIY
Yeah,
comes
it sounds
out.
like Queens of the Stone Age.
It has a good riff.
Give me Toro, give me some more.
Yeah. So DIY comes to the ring. They declare the Motor City Machine Guns' chances of holding those titles officially dead. Ciampa wants a moment of silence, interrupted by Pretty Deadly. And they are like, hey, we've helped you a lot. So, And Ciampa just wants that moment of silence. Anyways, Aldis comes out and says, you know, Pretty Deadly, we know you want a title shot. How about you two have a match? And Gargano's like, next week. And Aldis says, tonight. Gargano's got a wrestle. Looks like his brand new foam posits. They're wearing street clothes.
You know, Aldis is kind of fucked up for this one. Because, like, they're just wearing, like, jeans.
This seems more like an Adam Pearce type move as opposed to a Nick Aldis type move. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. So Pretty Deadly ends up getting the roll-up win here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it? Ciampa with a roll-up for 2. Wilson boots Ciampa. He rolls into a roll-up from Prince, who holds the rope, gets the win. So they get their title shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, we get a really good Street Profits video.
Yeah, this was great.
That really, like, the whole front of it focused on Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Motor City wouldn't be here if you didn't get in our way. DIY, we're coming for you too. Every time we get close to the title, someone shows up. Someone wants to screw us over. Not anymore. Life's a crutch. Y'all can finally say you saw me walking around with this thing. Ford says, ooh, I loved all that. The passion. I see it. I feel it. Congratulations, you pissed off the Street Profits. We don't like these strangers making shots like they've been here the whole time. How many times we see teams break up and they get back together when they find out the grass ain't greener on the other side? It says, we always have had each other. The violence will be televised because we want the smoke. This was so damn well filmed.
Yeah.
And the fire and passion in the promo was so well done. It's what this whole scene needs right now.
Yeah. Yep. Put those titles on Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're backstage. Byron's interviewing Motor City Machine Guns. They say, we process everything in profits. If it's your backyard, come kick us out. Los Garza steps in. They talk shit. They all argue. Santos then walks in and says, I understand your frustration. The Profits started this whole mess. On top of everything, all those missed chances leave us very frustrated. If you want to fight, all right, be prepared. So they're going to have
Brazier Fish. And we had... This wasn't a chamber qualifier now. This is just a match,
this is Nick Aldis putting Carmelo Hayes through like a gauntlet of sorts.
Yeah,
for some reason. I don't know why.
So Aldis is backstage with the party girl. Yeah, it's got like, it's almost a fetish at this point.
He's got a beef with Carmelo Hayes.
He does, but he's such like, I don't know. He's so non-pressed about it. Anyways, so Aldis is backstage with party girls. Hayes walks in. He says, unless it's putting me in the chamber, we got nothing to talk about. Aldis says, I have a request from Adam Pearce to have you fight a Raw superstar, which, I don't know, sounded very my career. Hayes gets upset. Tozawa, because he's like, no. We did this already with Braun. We did it with Priest. I'm not doing it again. But then Tozawa walks in, and he's like, oh, never mind. I changed my mind. I love it. It's going to be a layup. And then Tozawa says, air ball. And then Hayes gets mad and walks off. So we... I
was so worried that Carmelo was going to take an L.
Me too. If my phone wasn't near me, I would have responded. I was going to text you being like, oh, Melo's about to take this L, but you did it first. Oh, emergency snot situation.
All right, but it didn't happen. He actually got the win. Hit his finisher, not even a roll-up. So Tozawa hits the sunset flip powerbomb for 2. Hayes rolls him up. But then Tozawa kicks out, hits one of his own. Melo does that springboard reverse DDT thing he does. That's awesome. and then follows with Nothing But Net for the win. So I'm happy
That
they
is
actually
correct.
booked Carmelo Hayes to win a match.
I know, but you notice the crowd did not respond at all. They did not react at all when he won because, like,
He loses all the time.
he loses all the time. And this is like a nothing match. Like, he's like, hey, put me in the chamber. He's not going to get in the chamber, right? Because there's no spots left.
I know, but I'd love to
Is
see
it 6
Carmelo
or
in the
5?
chamber.
It's 6, isn't it?
It's 6, yeah.
What do we say? We got Cena, Logan, Seth, Punk, Drew.
And then there's one more qualifier, isn't there?
Priest. That's right.
Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, Priest. That's our
He
6.
doesn't even get a shot. Carmelo doesn't even get a shot.
No, that's
I mean, he
whack.
loses all
It's
the
lame.
time, so why should he? But
No, I know, but it's lame still because Carmelo's great.
yeah, Carmelo would make the chamber. Get Logan Paul out of there. You don't want to be in the chamber
know.
or in WWE.
Yeah, you got that right.
What the hell? Oh, that's all SmackDown.
That was SmackDown. We did it. About an
All right.
hour. Now we got an hour to answer questions, Steve.
Now we're gonna, yeah, man. Let's go too.
Kelmiko here says, I've been trying to think of realistic Money in the Bank winners. If not Drew, could this year finally be LA Knight? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, LA Knight's not with the Money in the Bank.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna name a name. Ooh, this is a little question, a little quiz here to extend this out. Not a quiz, a little game.
All right.
I'm gonna name a name. You're gonna tell me if they've peaked already. Start with LA Knight.
You know, I don't want to say maybe, but you never know. They can get in the storyline, and it could really take off for them. So I don't want to necessarily say they've peaked, but in terms of this phase of what he's doing, yeah, I think he has.
Drew McIntyre.
Absolutely not.
Okay. 2024 is a hard year to live up to.
I know, but you know, I could see some world title in his 2025. I could see that.
Finn Balor.
Oh, brother, he peaked years ago. It pains me to say it. I like Finn a lot. He peaked a while ago in WWE.
Damian Priest.
Yeah, 2024 might be as good as it gets for him.
I think so.
Unless they can really crack something interesting from a character perspective. Yeah, that might be it.
Cashing in at WrestleMania, that's a big one. No, that's too much longevity there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I feel like there's that like level of dude that like you gotta wonder, is it gonna get any better for them or not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see here. AJ Otani's got a great question. Why isn't Tiffany versus Nia happening at Elimination Chamber?
It
It's
is a good
probably
question.
it's probably gonna be like 4 matches, 2 chambers and 2 regular matches.
Yeah, probably. Well, why can't Nia versus Tiffany be one of those?
Because they're probably going to do Cody versus Solo as one of them. And then a Rhea match maybe. But I don't know against who.
Io.
Yeah. Oh boy. That'd be good. Let's see here.
Walrus Fart 3000 says, so Jacob Fatu has to kill Cena at some point this year, maybe even during a match, beating him for the title if Cena takes it off Cody. I mean,
Jacob
it would make
Fatu.
sense, but it's not like Solo Sikoa got much out of hitting Cena with a dozen spikes. So
Jacob Fatu is so damn good.
he's great.
Boy,
Massive
he's
fan.
Good.
Massive
He's
fan
so
of Jacob
good.
Fatu.
Have him dethrone Cody. Or Cena when he gets it off Cody. It's entirely possible Cody goes the rest of the year and doesn't lose that title.
That'd be boring.
You're right. But yeah, Cena could justify it. They shouldn't. But Cena could probably justify the Gunther title. That'd be stupid, though.
We got a super chat here from John and Alistair Voice. Says, bro, y'all popped me to no end, and the John bit is my favorite. Had to make it the username. Haha, never changed YouTube. PS started pro wrestling school. That's awesome. Hope it goes well.
Please tell me your fucking name is going to be John something in pro wrestling. That'd be amazing.
Okay,
John.
Zachary Bacon has a good point. Says, think the problem with Priest is that he still has the Judgment Day packaging, but is acting more like a classic babyface, which doesn't work together. That is a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's a very good point. They did the thing with him that they did with Roman Reigns when the Shield broke.
Yeah. I missed the Judgment Day. Yeah, remember how cool he used to look when he would wear the party vampire stuff? He had like those sheer shirts and like white leather pants and shit.
Yeah.
Real swinger attire right there, man. Let's see here. Jeremy Speeding says, Speedling says, how long before Alexa has a run-in with the Wyatt Six? At this rate, fucking, I don't know, Raw for Mania?
10 years, I don't know.
SummerSlam? Yeah, long time.
Another super chat here from Bales says, how I'm seeing it is Jay versus Cody, Logan Paul versus Gunther, Cena versus someone. Could be.
Jay versus what?
Jay versus Cody, Logan
Good.
Paul versus Gunther.
Yeah,
and then Cena versus somebody.
Cena versus... I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is a great question. This might be a question of the year candidate.
Already.
From my spirit animals, the Dorito. Not surprising. This dude's chock full of great questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an action figure, what accessories would you have?
One of those cube basketballs. I saw a video of Paul George shooting, so I'll improve my jump shot.
That's good. That's good. That's good. What accessory would I have? I would have my, it'd be special flu edition, Steven. I'd have my thermometer.
Oh, there you go. Your fluids.
95.5, I'm good.
Wow, man. You can go to the bar. No fever.
Bar away.
Yes, bar away. Fever, no way.
Fever, no way. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Fear and Loathing says, Steve, we can't get Nia and Charlotte at Mania. Would you settle for airing the match where they scuffled at Mania instead? Yeah, just air that match.
There you go.
That was amazing. Just fucking lighting into each other.
Bailey Fuller says, would you end Cody's reign before SummerSlam as he is leaning towards 2010 Super Cena? Yeah, I didn't at WrestleMania, to be perfectly honest. I had my druthers.
To Jey Uso, yeet.
Yeet.
Man. Oh, that's a good point. Javier says a Pakistan title.
There you go.
I'd have like a bootleg title that accidentally cuts me open.
Yeah, you don't need to open up the package of the action figure. You just got to leverage the belt in there. It'll slice the blister packaging on there.
Exactly. Excuse me. Charles Williams with Super Chat says, never forget Steve shot for 50% with the flu in the Meltzer Challenge. You got that right, man.
Yep.
Had my flu game today, baby.
You did. My goodness.
Oh, man. They had to put the IV in me after that one.
You know, he didn't actually have the flu. He had food poisoning.
Yeah, that might be worse. Because, like, the flu, you can have the gastro. It can affect your gastro. Yeah. Luckily, no Don Callis situation here with the brown note.
Brown note. No,
has not affected that. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, no, that's, ooh.
Yeah,
Jordan's
no fun.
Do you think he pooped his pants during that game? Like, what's it, Paul Pierce?
At no point did Jordan get wheeled out in a wheelchair because he pooped himself. So.
Nothing will be funnier than that picture of Paul Pierce in a wheelchair because he pooped his pants.
And then he admitted it one time and then walked it back.
And then he had to walk it back. Yeah, it's like, nah, bro, you pooped your pants.
I knew things happen.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's just funny that he got wheeled in a wheelchair. I guess you just do that.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, that's all the questions I have here. I've got other ones, but I'm sick. Well, I guess I'm not anymore because I got this guy telling me that.
Well, you have symptoms. I hear them. I see them. You
just
don't have a fever, apparently.
Hey, I think I did pretty good muting myself with all the stuff, and
Well, I mean, I heard it all, so I can't be the judge of that.
Yeah, no, it's not for you. I did a good job, trying to be extra obnoxious with that.
Yeah. Yes, wildly successful in that regard.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to call it a day. We're going to kill the Twitch stream as well. So all the Twitch stream, let's check Twitch really quick and see if there's any like subs or whatever, just so we can all get this done in one fell swoop here. Let's see here.
Hold on, let me go to do the thing, mod view here.
Mod view.
Activity, Diehard Homer with the sub, thank you.
Thank you very much, Diehard Homer.
Nick My Euro with the sub, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right,
appreciate it. All right. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Hopefully everybody has a lovely and safe weekend.
Yes.
And we'll see you back here on Tuesday for our Raw recap. Hopefully I will be much healthier then.
100%.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm tired of this. Because I had to, all week I had to deal with Bama being sick, which is why I got this. And now I got to deal with me being sick.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just want to get back on my routine, man.
You just want normalcy.
I want normalcy, a little bit of normalcy is all I'm asking for.
Yep.
Anyways, that's going to do it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time. We'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.